Hey everyone, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Yes, today is Thursday and the day that we do our Thursday short. So if you have a question that you would like us to answer in a Thursday short, send us an email. Information is scrolling along the bottom of the scene, right?
Oh,
So today we're talking about food quality. The US versus the EU/Portugal. And I've gained a little weight, even though I've been walking up and down these hills. The food here is so good. But interestingly, my blood work really hasn't changed that much.
so you gained weight, huh?
Yes, I did.
I think I gained more muscle.
Oh, is that what you gained?
Okay, I gained a little bit of weight.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's the wine.
It's the wine. It's the wine. That's what he's going to blame it on.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What else? I mean, the food here is really good, right?
It really is.
The wine is inexpensive and really good at an inexpensive price. But even the more expensive, it's just like you can't get anything close, right? Fruits and veggies.
Yeah.
And you can't seem to get enough of them baked goods.
No, I don't eat that many baked goods. I don't eat the pastel de natas.
I remember when I took our first big international trip, back in 2008, and we were in South Africa, and I looked at the back of a bag of Doritos. Y'all, I could read all of the ingredients, and that's when I was like, well, damn. And even the Coca-Cola, I don't think I was drinking soda back in those. No, I wasn't. I wasn't really drinking soda back in those days. But I remember seeing that there was no high fructose corn syrup and all the rest of that nonsense that they put into our food, right?
I was going to say the preservatives. I mean, you put stuff in the refrigerator, your fruits and vegetables, you better eat them.
Yeah.
Don't wait too long because they ain't gonna last too long.
They're not. I mean, obviously the fruits and vegetables in the United States don't necessarily have preservatives, but even like the canned stuff, like when we buy a can of salsa or a jar of salsa or a jar of korma sauce or something like that, you really need to use it ASAP because 3 days later it's going to have some mold. Yeah. So not only is the food here less expensive here in Portugal, but it's healthier.
It truly is.
So today we are going to give you the 411 on the food quality in the EU because one of the things that we're our Black Utopia, y'all. And so I'm always going to relate to how this affects us as the African diaspora, and especially those who have migrated to North America, right? And so many of our health issues have to do with what the U.S. is doing to our food.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a spoiler alert. You know where we're going to go with this. Right?
Yeah.
So if you don't know, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, we talk about travel and retiring abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early, right?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to talk about this. But first, if you are new to our channel, then you might not know about 8 years ago, Rick and I got a wake-up call. We were getting close to retirement age. Y'all in the chat already know this story. We looked at our money and it looked crazy. But we got our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 to over 800,000 in net worth in 3 years. Today, it's over 1.1 million. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we go live, and like this if you like our information. If you don't, hit the down so that you don't get you don't get
all the notices.
No, yeah, exactly, of when we go live, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So food in the United States is killing us.
Yeah.
And it's especially killing Black folks. And so how we relate this to our communities. You want to stick around to the end of this video because we're going to throw up a couple of statistics, some slides to show you what the statistics are and why we are saying what we're saying.
Yeah.
So here in the EU, they have banned or heavily regulated a lot of the things that's a free-for-all in the United States. And we're going to go through these one by one, y'all. Number one.
Boy, you got some words on here. Is that brominated?
Brominated.
Brominated. It got some brominated
Vegetable
oil. BVO.
And so those are used in some citrus flavored soft drinks, probably like Mountain Dew, which is banned here. In sports drinks in the USA, BVO contains bromine, which is also found in brominated flame retardants.
They got flame retardant and stuff in our food. That's crazy.
The European Union has banned its use due to potential health risks such as neurological issues and thyroid issues.
I wasn't drinking a lot of that stuff.
No, you didn't drink. You drank Pepsi, not Mountain Dew and stuff like that.
Long time ago, though.
Yeah,
that stopped.
Yeah, but not. I mean, when you think we stopped drinking soft drinks around in the early 2000s. But that's 50 years, 40 years of drinking soft drinks. Well, I wasn't allowed to have them when I was a kid, but y'all know what I mean. Dang it. You know what I mean?
Be careful with them soft drinks.
Don't even drink them. Don't drink them. All right. Number 2.
Potassium bromate.
Commonly used as a flour improver in bread, right? I can't see that. In bread and baked goods. Potassium bromate has been linked to cancer. It is banned in the EU and Canada, but of course, and several other countries, but of course, it is legal in the United States. Number 3.
Okay, I might need some help. Azotia carbonamine?
Azotia carbonamide. ADA. I don't know. This chemical... This chemical is also used as a flour bleaching agent and dough conditioner in the US. In Europe, it is banned due to concerns over its potential form to semi-carbazide, a compound which is, of course, linked to cancer. All of these things that we can't pronounce, we do not have to read in the ingredients that are in this food over here for the most part. One of the things that I don't like that they do allow here is MSG. They do allow MSG here. And so I try to avoid things that have MSG because it gives me headaches and things like that. But number 4.
RBGH. I ain't even gonna go there.
Recombinant bovine growth hormone. I was just talking about this with Brenda today. This genetically engineered hormone is used to increase milk production in cows. Now, interestingly enough, the EU has banned it due to animal welfare, as well as a potential link to cancer in humans. All of this crap. We wonder why little girls are like growing breasts and getting their cycle at 8 and 9 and 10 years old.
Because of the hormones.
Because of the hormones. Now, here's a good one. Number 5.
Synthetic food dyes.
We all heard of red dye number 2.
Didn't they? They banned that, though.
They banned that. But yellow dye number 5 and red dye number 40, called tartazine and allura red, are restricted in Europe. The EU requires food containing these dyes to carry warning labels due to potential links to hyperactivity in children. So in Europe, hyperactivity, ADHD prevalence among children ranges from 2 to 5.5%. But in the United States, it's over 11%.
Jeez.
Our food is killing us in the United States. And we just go for the okie doke. Here's a good one because I remember when this came out, and I remember when Oreos put it in their product to try to create a no-fat Oreo cookie. If you eat an Oreo cookie, you just might as well go ahead and embrace the fact that it's full of a bunch of crap.
But they were so good.
At least, like, if it's natural crap, it's okay, like natural sugar, natural stuff. But then they started trying to create this. What is it called?
Olestra or Olean?
Yes, Olean, I don't know. Olestra is the brand name. I remember when it came out. This is a fat substitute that is used in some low-fat snacks in the United States. Olestra can cause digestive issues and inhibit the absorption of essential vitamins. So if you are having to take a lot of vitamin supplements, it may be because if you're eating low-fat foods, you are not able to absorb the vitamins that are in your healthy foods. It is banned in the EU. Number 7.
Ractopamine.
I don't know.
These words.
Ractopamine. I don't know. It's a feed. It's an animal feed. So it's food for animals. Ractopamine. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. But this feed additive is used to promote leanness in meat animals like pigs and cattle. The EU has banned it over concerns of human health and animal welfare. Any surprise?
So it's for to make cows and pigs lose weight?
Make them leaner. Well, make them have more muscle to fat, I suppose.
Oh.
And you know what's so interesting, because it's banned here in the EU, but bacon here is leaner. Ground beef here is leaner. Like you can't go in the store and buy like 80% fat, 90% fat, 95 or 95% lean, I should say, 80% lean, 90% lean, 5, 10, and 15% fat. That's not a thing here. And when we go to the butcher and we get the hamburger that they have ground on the spot there in the butcher shop, when I cook those hamburger patties,
you hardly get any grease.
You don't. I have to add water so that they don't cook too fast or scorch before they get cooked on the inside. The bacon is the same way. The bacon is the same way. It's a trip. It's a trip that this stuff does not produce all that oil and grease.
And how do you feel about the taste of the meats compared here to the United States?
It tasted weird at first. It did. And I had to get used to it. And then when we went back to the States, it's like, okay, this tastes like chemicals. So now I realize what we're tasting is real meat without all the nonsense. And when I go back to the States, I might as well be a vegetarian because the meat doesn't taste right.
And I remember when we went, and I think I had mentioned before when we went to I had some chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had some chicken wings, and they were huge. And I mean, they were like...
Okay, Action VJ. Remember when we were where we go to CJ's?
CJ's. Yes.
Right?
That's right, yes.
And we had chicken wings that were like this big. This part of it was like this big. And then, I mean, it was a bionic chicken.
Yeah, it was like, and here, you get a chicken, they're
like
size.
They were in the 70s. Yeah. For those of you who can remember, normal size. We still see the feathers on them. Look, you got to burn those little hairs off of them. When we get eggs, they still have like bird poop on them and feathers. Sometimes you got to wash the eggs because they are that farm to table.
And they do not put them in a refrigerator.
No, you can't put them in the refrigerator because they still have the protective seal. So if you put them in the refrigerator, they will mold. All right. Number 8.
BHA and BHT.
We're not going to even tell you what the
Google it.
Yeah, because it's like a long hydro. These synthetic antioxidants are used to preserve fats and oils in foods. BHA has an endocrine disruptor because of its ability to lower testosterone.
Oh, endocrine.
endocrine disruptor.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Because he knows this stuff.
Because
Because he goes to an endocrinologist. So BHA has an endocrine disruptor that has the ability to lower testosterone, and it disrupts thyroid production. So BHA can also cause hormone disruption and immune system changes. Both are suspected of being carcinogenic and are banned in European countries. Guess what cereals have this that lower testosterone? Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch
is one of them. So it's probably all of the Captain Crunch series, Captain Crunch with berries and all of the other stuff that I just love, as well as I think Honey Nut Cheerios and probably some others. But those were the two that I found that has it in it. That's BHA and BHT. Y'all. Number 9 and the last one.
Arsenic-based drugs.
Arsenic-based drugs. Some arsenic-based drugs are used in the U.S. poultry industry. Remember, we talked about the bionic chickens. Poultry industry to promote growth and improve pigmentation.
Why do you need the pigmentation improved?
Who cares? The EU has banned these drugs due to carcinogenic risks. Arsenic. They are putting arsenic-type drugs into our food, into the animals that create our food, that are our food. African Americans have less access to healthy foods. Consider the following charts. Okay, so this shows major supermarkets. You see from 2009 to 2017, I couldn't find a good chart that gave us to 2022. I'm not sure that it has changed dramatically. All of y'all have heard of food deserts. We know that they exist. And here we go, right? And so you see that Latinos, they're doing pretty good, but we are not. And it looks like white and mixed race neighborhoods are doing just as poorly. However, those white and mixed race neighborhoods tend to be higher income. Higher income equals cars. Cars equal I can get to where I need to get the food, right? And that is the problem. When you have a majority Black neighborhood outside of the very big major cities like LA, Chicago, New York, maybe Atlanta, where we have huge Black neighborhoods that have a range of incomes all the way up to millionaires, that is not necessarily the truth. But in between there, usually when you have a majority Black neighborhood, it's going to be lower and working class neighborhoods, some folks without cars, and we will see that there are disparities because they do not have access to fresh foods. Here's the second one, small grocery stores. Now here in Portugal, you can find little mini mercados every half a block. Every half a block, you've got fresh fruits and vegetables. And those fresh fruits and vegetables, by and large, are less expensive than they are in the chain grocery stores. So for those of us, who are working class, who have limited incomes all the way up, you can get Gala apples for like 85 cents per kilo. And a kilo is like double, half of a pound. Right? So about a $1.30 per kilo, per pound, something like that. I think a kilo is half. Yes, half-ish. Thinking about that scale when I get on it. All right. And then lastly,
pharmacies.
But we've got plenty of pharmacies. I find it very interesting that they are neglecting to make sure that POC, that people of color, that BIPOC neighborhoods have access to fresh fruits and vegetables, healthy food, organic food at a lower cost, which here, if you go to a mini mercado, almost everything appears to be organic. Why do I say appears? Because I find worms and stuff. I see wormholes. Wormholes mean no pesticides, as far as I'm concerned. They're not labeled organic. They do have in the large grocery stores, they do have things that are labeled organic, but You're going to get smaller
Right.
apples, smaller fruits, smaller vegetables. Things are not perfect, weird shaped stuff, and
Yeah.
because that's how they grow, right? Without any of the things, the
The
GMOs and
added,
all of that
yeah.
stuff that tries to create a perfect looking piece of produce. So, to summarize, the EU has
Stricter food regulations.
the EU has
Reduced use of antibiotics and hormones.
better meat qualities and standards,
Pesticide regulations.
food labeling and transparency. So here in Portugal, and it may be the whole EU, they put a rating on most foods. So you see that. And they suggest that people eat foods that are in the AB category, and limit the foods that are in the DE category. Now, unfortunately, some of my favorite stuff is in the DE category, but we ain't going to talk about that. All right. The next one, the EU has.
Ban on certain harmful ingredients.
And the EU has organic food standards that are more stringent. Lastly,
hormone-free dairy products.
It's interesting because I was like, I don't understand why cheddar cheese is yellow. I don't understand why any cheese is yellow when milk is white, when cream is white-ish. And you really cannot find yellow cheese here. You can find some slices here and there, but by and large, the cheese is going to be the color of cream and milk.
Mm-hmm.
So, look, food tends to be better outside of the United States, and it's not just the EU. We noticed this first in South Africa. That is why we do what we do. That is why we are encouraging people to consider a life outside of the United States, especially if you are from the diaspora, when they are purposely making sure that we do not have access to fresh fruits and vegetables, and we certainly don't at an affordable cost. And so, every time they've got a 99 cents menu plan at Taco Bell or McDonald's, right? 99 cents should apply to our fruits and vegetables and meats, but it doesn't. So we are healthier, a little bit heavier for now here in Portugal,
Yeah.
and we want you to be healthier too. So this was a question that came from one of our subscribers. Was food healthier here? And the answer, of course, is hell yeah. So join us. If you need help moving abroad, we got you covered. Information is in the description below. If you need to book a one-on-one call, we're here to help. Information is in the description below. We have partnered with Blackset Global for the Move to Portugal Virtual Summit replays, or if you want to get into the waiting list for our 2024 summit, all of that information also is in the description below. We love you, and we'll see you on Sunday when we talk about some move abroad scouting trip mistakes, the 10 biggest mistakes that Americans make moving abroad.
We're going to tell them all the mistakes.
Yep. And Krishan will be joining us. See y'all. Bye.